now. What is up, Mr. Man? How you doing? How you been?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So, it seems that, well, one, I just want to point out, I made a post on the channel, but we had 100 views in less than 3 days. 60 views in less than 12 hours.
Hell yeah, thank you, people.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. If you want to hear more shit for us to talk about and make fun of, I'm going to have to censor that the first minute. But if you have more stuff you want us to make fun of, give our opinions on, let us send it to us. We're gonna be finding our own subjects to talk about, but this is nice content in between Underdorks, which I have. Well, I did have rendering until we started talking. It's gonna take 12 hours because my computer is going through the shit right now. But we talked about Wizards of the Coast complaining about the fans being obstacles to their money, and then they tried to push that terrible Dungeons and Dragons Beyond and monetize the hell out of it, so they're essentially stripping mechanics and features away from you on their program. They want you to throw away your books so they can control what you do and how you do it. Am I right?
I want you to pay to use your imagination,
Yeah,
posers.
100%. They want you to pay to use your imagination, and then they're going to monetize every mechanic on the way, just so they get more money out of what you want out of D&D. But
And with the newest
with the new,
update, they've also made it so that if they don't like what you do, they could just come and shut you down.
yeah,
If
we'll
it's
get to that.
hateful.
That is crazy though, because they said they're doing this so they can stop D&D from being used for hateful conduct. Which, if you type in Dungeons and Dragons on YouTube, on Twitter, not maybe Tumblr, you'll get drama because Tumblr is like, who the fuck goes to Tumblr for news or information? But I have yet to see anybody do D&D content and be malicious or hateful. Like, if there is hateful / like supposedly malicious stuff in the campaign or in the D&D video, it's because it's a topic in the world, and that shit does happen in the world, and they're just representing it in a fantasy universe. Like, if they're trying to get rid of hateful conduct, guess what? The beginning of Perennia is going to be removed because of Withers. Like, that's essentially they're going after hateful conduct and bad content or whatever, means that Withers Andromeda shit is bad. They would find that bad. That's not what they're seeking out to get rid of, but they're going to use that as an excuse. But
And they can suck my dick.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
Eat my nuts, Wizards of the Coast. But I did talk to someone about how D&D doing this Beyond thing could affect them, and essentially it's all their past content and anything that's Dungeons and Dragons related would have to be edited out, and depending on the streamer or YouTuber, that may be completely impossible. So that's what they're worried about. And they're worried about if they had like some kind of situations during their like Withers and Andromeda happening in their session, they're afraid D&D is going to like go after them because of just, oh, we don't like that there was racism in your universe that they triumphed.
I don't have racism. I just don't have anybody but white people.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm talking about this content creator. That's their fear.
Joking about that.
Okay, I see. No,
True, but
the
they'd
whole
have
world full of
with
white people, so there is no racism.
Maybe if all the black and brown people stop complaining so much, I might let them onto my world. We'll see.
If they stopped complaining, Galdrin wouldn't have had to go scorched earth, would they? But so I looked up because I heard Wizards of the Coast replied, and I have 2 articles. I don't think we're gonna read the Eurogamer, but the Polygon is a good write-up that leads us to the actual update they've posted, Wizards of the Coast. So I figured we'd go through the context of what their reply is and then go read their reply, because it's very buzzword and like, they tried to use the language to skirt around it. So it's nice someone kind of just TLDR'd it. But here's Polygon. They
can
did.
tell. Oh,
what'd you say? I was just going to say this was posted January 13th on Polygon. What was you saying?
I was going to say this is quite old, and they've changed a bit between here and now too, so people have to keep that in mind. They've flipped and flipped. This is the stupidest, most gay fucking response. We rolled a 1. Get fucked. Just say you fucked up, you losers. Oh, I hate how they use the
Well,
language of the game to try to lessen the blow.
this
It's
one
like
was
you got
posted
called
2
out on
days
your
ago.
shit.
This Eurogamer, so we can do all three, But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
they
Watch the
got
progression is
exposed
what I'm
and they
saying.
had to change course twice.
Exactly. So we're gonna see some course changing.
Yeah, so this is the first. This is like right before our video is right before our video was made. But it's Polygon wrote, after more than a week of controversy, Dungeons and Dragons makers Wizards of the Coast says it's backing off plans to alter its open gaming license in a way that incensed fans and led to some calling for a boycott. I didn't want to boycott. I said everyone should get D&D Beyond and make all the cracks for the promo codes and just abuse the program to the point they remove it, just to show you that their idea is broken, and because they're only going for the money, they're not going to see all the problems in the game because they're just going to be like, oh, we're still making money, so there's not much to fix here. They won't fix anything until their profits drop. That's how that would work, and it'll drop
That's
fast.
usually the motivation.
But on Friday, Wizards issued a statement responding to a leaked draft of the open gaming license. We looked at their website and nothing changed. Their pricing website. Remember, there was 2 different pages that we looked at that had pricing on it. But also known as the OGL, the Hasbro-owned company now says that it will not require creators to pay a royalty, and that the content previously created for the 5th edition of the tabletop role-playing game will remain unaffected. See, this is them backing up entirely because they wanted to go after hateful content. Now they're giving amnesty to what they're supposedly trying to go after, which just shows they weren't going after the hateful content, the bad, evil racism, and rape, hate, all that shit. They just wanted
And
money.
I also need to point out that this policy changes again before the end of this.
I know, I know. God, it's just
It's for the
crazy.
people. I know you know.
I know. I was saying one paragraph in, and we can already expect a major change. And there's only 3 paragraphs here. See, 5. But let's go through. So this is the first half of the statement on the website right here. I'll leave this in our description so you can read through everything. And January 13th was when this is posted. Obviously, we said things have been changed, but this is what pissed everyone off. But so right here, they cut it up to where Wizard's statement reads like a full retreat after the backlash initially. When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with 3 major goals in mind. Profits, profits, profits. I mean, first we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. If it does, it's a fucking meme, or it's like 100 people see it. And then a couple thousand make fun of it and everyone forgets. But second,
I also want to. I just like to say too that there's nothing wrong with making profits. Communism and socialism are mental diseases. We
well,
need
I
to be
said
able to
profits,
make
I mean
money.
at the expense of
I
us.
mean, but it needs to be said because I'm sick of this fucking thing where people act like a company is evil for wanting to keep going.
Yeah, okay, I
There's
see.
nothing wrong with keeping going, but it's how you choose to keep going that matters. And they
Yeah,
chose the wrong fucking way. But they aren't bad for wanting to make money off this goddamn unprofitable game. You buy the book once, you don't really need them. So they're throwing shit at the wall. Unfortunately, they fucking blew the wall away with the first shot, and now there's nothing left to throw at.
yeah.
That's all.
Okay, I see. You are accounting for the other half because everyone on the internet, the average person on the internet's extreme. They're
Well, yeah,
extremists.
and
If you want
the more people act like they're bad guys for wanting to make money,
to, yeah,
the harder it gets to actually sell capitalism. Because if it wasn't without capitalism, we wouldn't have fucking Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think role-playing games take off in communism and socialism. People are too busy working themselves to death
hmm
for assholes. So
yeah.
it's like it's
I agree.
okay to make money. That's all I was trying to say.
I got you. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I wasn't thinking that you were like. I see the route you're going. See, and as I
It's
said,
every
with
other video I've watched. They expect wizards to just roll over and be like, okay, we won't make money, fine, you win. And they turned it into this pissing contest about whether you're allowed to actually make a profitable business or not.
yeah,
And I don't see
why
it
are
that
we
way.
allowed to make money? Well, we will make money soon, but like,
Yes.
why do we have the ability to make more money off the property than I get what you're saying, and I was going to say the average person on the internet is extreme, and when it comes to their beliefs, it's neither Wizard of the Coast is doing the right thing because they're trying to monetize from people leeching off them, or, and that's an extreme view, or they're the big bad evil guy because they want to make money. They make the books. If they wanted to make money, they should have thought about that first. Like, it's I agree with you. It's, you see a whole bunch of videos saying they're bad guys, then I see a whole bunch of comments that are saying they're good guys and that we're bad for pointing out how they're doing it. And they're trying to negate our arguments. I'm not saying they, I'm just saying arguments similar to ours. They're trying to negate it by saying we are extreme on one end or extreme on the other. And it's crazy. It's like, we don't care they're making profits. We care how they're doing it.
I sidetracked us a bit.
Oh, you're good. No, you're right. I was going to say the same thing, but mine was a little bit wordy. But it's cool because, yeah, people need to realize companies need to make money. It's not about that they're making money. It's about how they're doing it. And what they're doing is taking the game from you and giving it to you in packages. And, they're cheap packages, yes. But they're taking away game mechanics, rendering their books useless. And then if you look at how video games do their microtransactions, they break it down to where, just like D&D Beyond in our last video, you can make your name, you can make 5 characters, and then you can have 5 combat scenarios as a free user. And then when your next level up, you can make 8 characters and do unlimited amounts of campaigns. And it's like they're breaking the game down to bare mechanics just to get you to pay a couple extra bucks more. And it's going to get to the point where they're going to start charging you money to use, to use homebrew weapons.
To use your imagination.
Yeah,
that's
that's
where I've been coming from the whole time.
That's where the punchline comes from.
Charge money, but you shouldn't try to charge money on arbitrary things like people's fucking own imaginations. Exactly. If you want to sell the tools, that's one thing. But when you want to start coming after people for just using a name, that's another. Anyway, we're way off topic. Sorry, man.
Well, I will add, I will say, if they add the ability to make 3D models and a 3D character for your D&D Beyond, I understand that you pay like 50 cents or $1 to get a homebrew weapon, so your character is holding it. That's where that's mechanic stuff would, like, you're getting the game, but if you want like the visual aspects, you pay a couple extra bucks. Like, that's what they should do. Like,
they're gonna make a video game. Just make a fucking video game.
I was gonna counter with that too. But if they're gonna do that, make a fucking video game. Anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell into your ear. But second, they want to address those attempting to use Dungeons and Dragons and Web3. No matter how you do D&D Beyond, because you put out the books, you're never going to stop this. Blockchain games and NFTs by making clear that OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. Well, can't they just add a rule or like a term of service to where if you take D&D and apply it to Web3 NFTs or whatever, they are liable to be sued? That's how you combat that.
No, you combat that by putting out good supplementals and making money off the supplementals.
True.
They're trying to get it on the back end instead of getting it on the front end.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I shouldn't be offering solutions to do it on the back end. You know what? Ignore what I said. Yeah. Why don't they make figures? Why don't they make expensive tables with monitors on it so people can have home D&D set? They should focus on the big ticket D&D
They want to control the merchandising. That's fine. You want to slap the D&D logo on your mass-produced item and sell it on the public market. Everyone fucking does that anyway. Do that and stick with that. And they do that. I go to game stores. I see all the little kobolds, and you can buy all the fucking monsters. I have a shitload of them myself from way back in the day when they sold the blister packs, and you could get a bunch of randos. And it's like they've been doing all of this, and it's like it's not enough for them. They're a $150 million company that's trying to go to a $300 million company in 1 year with all these bright ideas. Mm-hmm. They've got these ass wipes at the top that are like up, up, up. It's
a bunch of millennials that grew up on Bitcoin and Reddit.
But they just don't get the player base. That is true.
Exactly.
They don't understand that we don't actually need them. And if they want our business, they have to make it worth our while with extra supplemental stuff. Like they don't seem to understand it's not as profitable as they fucking think it is. They're acting like it's GW, whose world is far superior but it's also far more controlled.
To play the game, you got to buy shit from them.
Yeah, pretty much. and that's what their thing is. So it's like D&D is trying to almost steal the GW model, and people
They
that know
could
about
do that.
GW would laugh at that because they're doing the same shit GW does. But anyway, again, off topic. Fuck.
They could, but to the blockchain and NFT thing, the blockchain game. Back to what you said, make a fucking video game. Dungeons and Dragons Online is a good MMO for Dungeons and Dragons. It doesn't play like a typical MMO. The combat is way different than any other MMO that exists. And if people don't like that, it's 2023. There's a lot of MMOs that's came out the last 3-4 years that have been fucking bangers. Do that. Like literally, your D&D Beyond is literally the inventory in the character profile menu screen on an MMO. But anyways, the last thing they're going after is wanting to ensure that OGL is for the content creator by banning how you do, like how you create stuff. The homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our players in the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purpose. You know, the people that create homebrew stuff like that, like, because there is a couple YouTubers that I watch that do homebrew weapons. They custom make it, but they charge you like $2 for it. They could do that. They don't need to lock the game behind $5 a month so they can stop people having to pay $2 for a homebrew weapon or a character, like a specifically designed character based on the mechanic. You know, I think that's a good. Sorry.
They're trying to have their cake and eat it
Yeah.
too, and I find it fucking abhorrent. It's like you want us to play this game about the imagination, but you limit the ways that we can use our imagination, and we're only able to use them with the tools you provide. When
Oh shit.
in a small framework, it's very ass backwards thinking. They're trying to control too much at once. I've already said what I think they should do to make money. So yeah, that's where I'm at with all of this. It's just pointless pissing contests now.
Yeah, and so is driving these goals were two simple principles. Our job is to be good stewards of the game, and the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. If it exists for the benefit of the fans, they wouldn't be doing any of this. If they want to stop people monetizing homebrew, then how about you make your own homebrew? Like, oh, we scientifically researched our own mechanics to design a character from this anime. It's exactly like them based on what is available in game. They could do that instead of these YouTubers and small time people that become successful because they offer a product that is very good. It's used. Like, I mean, I wouldn't buy a homebrew character, like, you know, the details someone made themselves. But for someone that wants that character, that idolizes an anime character, you know, cool. It's like $2-3. But D&D, yeah, you're right. D&D just wants all the money instead of letting anybody have the money. It says they're for the fans and the content creators, but at the same time, they're doing everything to stop us from being able to create that. But, goddamn. That is why our early drafts of the OGL included the provisions they did. That draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. Lies. In addition to the language for allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. Well, that's not what they said. They're not going after large corporations. They're just mad that they're... Jesus Christ. It is never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. Everything you just said right here proves otherwise. However, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled a 1. It has become clear that it's... Yeah, it's corny that they even use that. But Wizards of the... so it's Polygon's own opinion. We don't have to read what they think about it. But
they're retards anyway, and they're part of the problem. These fucking places that reporters.
So the update is removing the royalty structure, so people don't get paid for their homebrew stuff, and the Wizards of the Coast can't make money off your homebrew shit, I guess. What the new OGL will not contain is any royalty structure. It'll also not include the license back provision that some people were afraid was means for us to steal work. It is. D&D Beyond's for you to steal everything. That thought was never crossed our minds. Under the new OGL, you will own the content you create. We won't. Well, that's why it won't be digitalized. See,
if there's one thing I've learned, it's to trust big corporations, right?
It's one thing. You know what?
Do anything wrong.
You people out here online, if you do not know, when you buy digital content, when you buy a game digitally, when you buy a movie digitally, you do not own that game or DVD. You are leasing the license to use and watch. So at any point in time, you call someone a fag, and you actually like, oh, I hate gay people, you're a fag. And, guess what? They don't like that. Steam can remove that game from your library. But if you own the physical disc, you own that game. They can't come in and revoke that physical copy from you. So them saying that they won't own anything that you put on your own piece of paper at home, as soon as you put that online, they own it. You put it in D&D Beyond, that is theirs now.
Yep. Once you put something on the internet, it's not really yours anymore anyway.
I bet you their terms of service says like any homebrew, whatever they put on there is licensed to them because it's their program. But so this is lies. This is a complete lie. It's crazy. I could be wrong though. I'm just going off of how digital games work. You don't own digital games or DVDs, so why would you own anything you put on their program since it's digitized? But anyways, the license back language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work simply because of coincidental similarities. Oh my, they're using a YouTuber's lie. Oh, I wasn't stealing I didn't steal their homebrew. It's just similar. What? Okay, I'm not even going to read the rest of this.
Plus, we should keep it short anyway.
Yeah.
Got sidetracked. Okay, so these almost said this. What's the next set say?
On December 21st, the D&D team published a blog post hoping to tamp down on concerns. In that post, Wizards said its royalty scheme would impact fewer than 20 creators worldwide. They're probably the major ones. I guarantee you they're the major creators, like Critical Role and, the Brendans from, those people from College Humor. They do D&D shit now. Roll20 or D20, I think is the name of, whatever. They would be impacted, I bet. But following the leak of the draft, fan outrage spiked. Many organized under the Open D&D hashtag, while others called for fans to cancel membership in D&D Beyond, the online version of D&D. That effort temporarily overwhelmed portions of the D&D Beyond website, so they got DOSed. Meanwhile, several online petitions also started gathering signatures, including one from former Wizards vice president. See, that just tells you this is a bad idea.
Petitions, yes. Please name something a petition's actually worked on. I'll wait.
Exactly. If anything, it's only for the people that you're petitioning to be aware of what you want. But shout out to Ryan Dancy from the ex-vice president and the OGL architect. He thinks this is fucking bullshit too. Despite Wizards' apparent course change, response on Twitter to the publisher's statement seems just as strongly negative as because this says they're still doing it. They're just sorry. They're just telling you why they're doing it, which is a lie. It's for money. They just won't admit that they want money.
Look at my left hand while my right hand performs the trick.
Yeah, like, see that leaked Twitter, that leaked email saying, oh, they're saying that we're obstacles to their money. They never address that claim at all. And that's what people are mad at. Yeah, exactly.
It's written by people who know what they're doing.
If they only focus on the D&D Beyond garbage and not the email that kicked everything off or that got people really mad, then they can lie and say, oh, see, you guys misunderstood. But Wizards of the Coast, you suck. If this goes forth, I can't wait to see the people make cracks for your promo codes to make ways to ruin D&D Beyond because you're so tone deaf. And everyone out there, you can download you can download free copies of the D&D rule books. You can download any copy. Just do a little bit of Google. Don't buy the physical copies unless it's from.
Steal.
Yeah, nah, I am.
We just got 100 views. Don't ruin it.
Fuck you, Wizards. I will censor out that part where I say go. I'll censor out that part. But everyone's going to know what I'm talking about with the censor.
That was a joke. We're just joshing.
Yeah, we're just joshing, man. Only in Minecraft you should steal.
All in good fun.
But I do suggest going to those secondhand bookstores or any bookstore and buying it used. Don't give the direct company money. At least until they get their heads out of their ass. But they won't. Play MMOs. Buy your own books. Find other modules if this sucks. Or someone's going to take D&D, re-release the books and everything without D&D's title and WOTC trademark or anything. It's just going to be a generic rule book. I really want to see that happen. They removed D&D from itself.
Make my own D&D rules all the time.
I
I
know.
need a basic understanding. Anyway, last article, I got pissed.
All right. Well, the last article, yes. Let's scroll through. So, Wizard of the Coast has apologized for its handling of Dungeons and Dragons Open Gaming, which caused huge community backlash. So it's talking about Gizmodo released it. Shout out Gizmodo, which was so they're saying that leak that we just read about the other day is unauthorized because it's just their guide, their draft. But following the initial statement, they released a new post making further promises to the community. These past days and weeks have been incredibly tough for everyone. As players, fans, and stewards of the game, we can't and we won't let things continue like this. But I guess, let me start with an apology. We're sorry we got it wrong. Our language and requirements in the draft OGL were disruptive to creators and are not in support of our core goals of protecting and cultivating an inclusive play environment. D&D is so inclusive. Every race is a non-human, a non-white man. What the fuck?
And you can exclude people at will because it's your game.
Yeah.
If you want to have an all Chinaman game, give her. You want to do Wakanda, fucking give her. Like anyone can. It's stupid. It works every way around.
I don't support it, but if you want to do a D&D game where you guys literally want to do that Quentin Tarantino movie about the Nazis, the Jews hunting the Nazis, I forget that movie, with Brad Pitt, you can do that, whatever. It's a fucking fantasy. It's fake. It's made up. It's for you to enjoy a little bit of dice rolling and imagination. Don't let anybody tell you that's wrong.
I also take offense to them calling themselves stewards.
Yeah.
The main reason I take offense to this is because steward implies that you're taking care of something for someone else, right? But they're not. They're not trying to set themselves up as the king because the king decides. So they are not stewards of this game. They're the kings of this game and own that shit. If you're going to try to control it on any sort of level, then you are not the fucking steward. The steward doesn't call the shots. He just takes care of shit. It's a ridiculous play on words.
Well, this is the last bit. Sorry, this is a longer video than the last one, but this explains what's not how things are affected from your video content. So this kind of pertains to us, but we are committed to giving creators both input to and room to prepare for any update to the OGL. Brink wrote before highlighting a ton of stuff that won't be affected OGL updates. That won't be affected what? Your video content, whether you are a commentator, streamer, podcaster, whatever, or a video creator on platforms like YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, you have always been covered by the Wizards fan content policy. The OGL doesn't and won't touch any of this. Your accessories for your own content. No changes to the OGL will affect your ability to sell minis, novels, apparel, dice, and other items. So what's the fucking point then? That's all there is. Related to your characters, creations, and worlds. Then nothing. You're after nothing. Non-published works, for instance, contracted services. You use the OGL if you want to publish your works that reference 5th edition content through the SRD. That means commission work, paid DM services, consulting, and so on aren't affected by the OGL. So you're going to let people be paid to be a dungeon master? I mean, I don't like that, actually. But, I mean, make your money how you are.
I can see the benefits.
Yeah, I do, but I just wouldn't trust it,
Yeah, that's the way I don't see it.
Yeah, like
not trusting
just
them.
take money and don't show up, or you show up and just do the worst fucking session. You did your obligation, but you provided a terrible service. Like, I don't.
It's so subjective.
Yeah, but any VTT comment? I don't know what that means.
Well,
you just
people to know that there are goals. There are guys there that want to live a second life. There are guys there that just want to hang out with their buddies. There are guys there that want to be part of something that keeps mattering. And those are the 3 types I've found and played with the most.
I want to read a book before it's a fucking book. I want to experience it, or at least document it,
Yep.
All right. But any updates to the OGL will still allow any creator to publish content on VTTs, and will still allow VTT publishers. I don't know what that means. It's probably like 3D printing.
Virtual tabletop.
DM's guild content. The content you release on DM's Guild is published under a community content agreement with Dungeon Masters Guild. This is not changing. Oh god, I bet you that DM's Guild is fucking full of gatekeeping pretentious tards.
Yeah.
Nothing will impact any content you publish under OGL 1.A that will always be licensed under OGL 1.0. Your revenue, there will be no royalty or financial reporting requirements. They really had that in the beginning, that you had to report how much money you made doing D&D content?
Yeah, they'd want to tax it, man. Controls, revenue is revenue.
Yeah,
Someone has to be accountable.
That's crazy. I would never tell them the truth. Your ownership of your content, you will
just audit you through YouTube, right? If you didn't report
most people earn earn through Patreon and shit, and a lot of people, they can hide it.
Actually, sorry, I want to back that up because I live in Canada where the fucking government can just go to the banks and do what they want. Maybe in the United States it doesn't work like that, but in this country they would just fucking do what they want to find out whether you owe money.
Oh yeah, they would do it even. They would shoot my dog before they do that in America.
They'll garnish your wages without your permission.
And then also your content, your ownership of your content. You will continue to own your content with no license back requirements. See, then what is the point of any of this if you're not going after any of the shit that you just listed? In the beginning, that's what you were going after, so now you had to clarify, never mind, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to find another way to monetize that you will not understand.
But we got to look at what they didn't say now. What's the only thing they didn't mention? The thing that we talked about at the beginning. The hateful conduct thing.
Yeah.
They don't mention that, which means that's the main point of this. It is still their ace in the hole to control something on a level they want to save their brand.
Well, it's Wizards fan content policy, so they're going to attack through the policy.
There you go.
And they have 3 different policies they listed over here too. So
lawyer language.
Yeah, it's what it is. The smart thing to do is list what it won't change, so you are unsure what it will change. Because if you're unaware what else there is to go into content creation in D&D, you're not going to know what's going to be missing. But they're not going after your ability to sell minis. So what it is, it's neither going to tax you, it's going to let you do all the content you want, but it's going to tax the shit out of you. But yeah, they do not list how they're going to go after the naughty stuff, which means it's probably going to go against your amendments, your rights as an American citizen, you're a Canadian citizen, etc. But damn, dude.
Keep it vague, and they can do what they want.
Exactly. I call it HR speak, human resource speak. But anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Wizards of the Coast did nothing to improve the situation other than give us a whole bunch of words to make it seem like they're trying to be there for us. But they're just a whole bunch of people that never played D&D that just want money. But anyways, boycott D&D Beyond. Peace out, everyone. Stay tuned for Underdorks 14 and Forspoken, a new RPG coming out in 2 days. Bye.
Thanks.